Speaking to what you said, and it's logical. Let's just be logical. Logic isn't black or white. Now let's just be logical. If
TC here, I'm going to go in a little bit on XM radio. I listen to it in my car on the way to work, in my truck on the way to work, and you got to read between the lines when you hear a DJ talk, one of these hosts talk, like Joe Madison, the Black Eagle. Now, Joe Madison said this morning, I don't know who they are, but they pay me a lot to host this show, and they tell me what I say, what I can say, and what I can't say, what to talk about and what not to talk about. Now, Joe Madison speaks in sentence fragments a lot of time, and so sometimes the message can get lost in what he's trying to convey. But he did say that they tell me what to talk about and what not to talk about. So that's why a lot of times Joe Madison and a lot of these other people that are on XM radio are going to stay pretty mainstream. Now they'll touch on certain subject matter, but every once in a while I go over to one of the conservative right-wing channels and listen to them talk, and they get a lot more motherfucking radical than the people on the left. They go a little bit further to the right than these people do to the left. It's like they trying to stay, safe in that little safe zone where they'll touch on the subject, but they won't go too deeply into it. Joe Madison this morning would not talk about the girl that got stabbed in San Francisco by that white supremacist. He wouldn't talk about it. He said people were calling in to ask him to talk about it, but that's when he started saying that they tell him what to talk about and what not to talk about. So he said all the facts aren't in, and he said that this guy, you can't call him a white supremacist because the guy doesn't know he's a white supremacist. Well, that's where, me and Joe, part company on this issue. I think a lot of motherfuckers don't know that they're white supremacists. And a lot of them do. I think saying that a motherfucker don't know he a white supremacist is like saying that a baby doesn't know that he's a baby. Right? But that doesn't make him not a baby or a white supremacist. Let me clarify that. When I was a baby, laying there on the sofa or in my crib or wherever the fuck I was laying, I was just me. I didn't know that I was a baby. I didn't even know I was a small person. I didn't know shit. I just knew I was an individual. I knew that I was alive. Right? I got memories from that far back. So a white supremacist going about his fucking day doesn't go around saying to himself, oh, it feels good that I'm a white supremacist. He just goes about his day and fuck with niggas, and it's up to us to define him as a white supremacist. Just like it's up to your mama to define you as a baby. When you're a baby, you don't know you're a baby until somebody tells you. When you're a white supremacist, you don't really know you're a white supremacist until somebody tells you. You do all kind of white supremacist things, but you still run around calling yourself non-racial, or that you're saying to yourself that you're not a racist, but you are. It takes somebody from the outside looking in to define that shit for you. So, that motherfucker was a white supremacist. A white supremacist terrorist. And whether Joe Madison or any of these other motherfuckers on XM radio who's scared to lose their job want to call him that or not, that's what the fuck he was. Alright? With that, I'm going to go in here and go to work. TC, and I'm out.